One of my most cherished memories is during my winter concert many years ago with an autistic child. He was diagnosed with autism, but he had the most beautiful voice. He had a voice like an angel, and he had perfect pitch, a good sense of rhythm, and everyone at school saw him as a behavioral problem, a child who couldn't focus, a child who was just out of sorts most of the time, very high anxiety. But I saw the goodness and the amazing gift that this child had. So I encouraged him to be in our Christmas pageant. Actually, everyone, all of my special needs children were in this program. So we started rehearsals way back in October, and he seemed to love being in this group. He was able to participate, he was able to sing, and I just noticed that here he was home. This was his home. So one day I just had him sitting next to me because I just loved hearing him sing, and I just continued the rehearsal, and he leaned over, he whispered to me, and he said, "Can I sing alone? Can I sing alone?" So I said yes, because we were working on "O Holy Night." So I stopped the rehearsal, and I said to the children, we have a special gift, because Dana wants to sing "O Holy Night" by himself. And of course the children were like, okay, I guess it's okay. But Dana stood up, and he looked at his peers, and he just took a deep breath, and he sang every word perfectly. And I can still hear his voice. So from that moment, when he finished the song, all of his peers stood, and they clapped and cheered for him. And for him, this was incredible, because he had not had any type of peer interaction, nor did he have really a friend. So this was a huge step for Dana. And the best part was that after this experience, I thought perhaps at the pageant he could sing by himself. So with no pressure, and hoping that he could be able to do this, I suggested it to him. I spoke to his parents, and they said, maybe we could, because every day was different for Dana. Some days he was okay, other days physically and emotionally he was kind of out of sorts. So we never knew from day to day how he would be. So what we did was Dana and I made a trip to the castle where this pageant was frequently, and he would sit at the piano and he would sing with me, so he would get used to the surroundings, the environment, the sounds, the smells, and eventually he did become more comfortable with his space. So the day of the pageant arrived, and there he was, all dressed up on stage with his holiday clothes, and he and I had an understanding that if he wanted to sing, he could. If not, just say no. So I was watching him throughout the pageant, and his name was not on the program because this was going to be a special part that we were going to introduce if he was ready. So the time came when hopefully he would be ready. So I gently asked him, he was right near me, and he said yes. So he stood up, and I walked him to the piano. He stood there, he took a deep breath, he took everybody in, and he began to sing. And he sang so beautifully. Every note, every sound was perfect. And when he finished his song, the whole audience were on their feet clapping and applauding, and there was not a dry eye in the whole castle. So that memory of Dana and his parents were so proud of him, and his peers just were so supportive. It was just another moment that I was able to witness the power of music and the transformation of this incredible little boy. After that moment, when Dana had his time in the sun, I call it, from that day forward, he just became more confident. He had friends. He could interact with